So if all goes well here, the Fallbar podcast is going to be back to you remote edition while we are in separate places. Ryan is coming to you from Marietta, Georgia, and I'm in the great suburb of Needham, Massachusetts, where there is news hot off the press from this neck of the woods.
Oh boy, give us a rundown.
So we're not going to spend so much time on Rafi because there's a lot going on around the league that we have to get to.
Yeah,
So we just call the Rafael Devers trade what it is. Let's call it a bad trade because that's what it is.
yeah, yeah.
But here's
Call
here's the
space
thing
spades.
that now that I've had about 24 hours now to be with my feelings and kind of think about things. Um, for a trade like this to be made at the time that it got made, the Red Sox are 7-2 in their last nine. They've won their last three series. They just swept the Yankees. They are half a game out of a playoff spot. Something had to be going drastically wrong internally. Like
Yeah,
we know he was in the news and in the drama with Bregman signing and getting moved off third, and then when your corner infielders get injured, he's not coming back. The management and the player obviously had ties that were beyond repair for a move like this to happen.
yep.
However, comma, when you're a team that's trying to show that it's time for you to compete again and are actively on a hot streak, trading your best hitter for some scraps of pitchers and James Tibbs, who was a Brewster Whitecap, which was great, but he's in single A still. It's
Grew up
just
5 minutes away from me.
really, is that right?
Marietta, Georgia product.
Yeah, I watched him play on the Cape. So maybe we're rooting for James Tibbs a little bit.
Yeah, cool guy, I
All right.
think.
Yeah. Give me your I mean the trade sucks. I've been distraught all day and all last night. I can't believe it. I'm baffled. Give me your not Red Sox fan take on the trade and then we'll just move on.
Um, my my question is not why, but why did you go there?
Yeah.
Why did we go? Why was San Francisco the spot? And Tibbs is a great piece. Tibbs is a killer. Tibbs is going to be a major league ball player at some point
I think so
and
too.
most likely be above average at some point, or at least an average major league player, I think. The difference comes when you're getting Jordan Hicks, who has, I'm pretty sure the ERA is like 6.51.
He's been terrible as a starter.
Yeah, he's never been good. And maybe you chuck him in the bullpen and he's fine. And you get Kyle Harrison, who essentially, I mean, I knew who he was, but like the the return is not what the Red Sox were look should have been looking for.
It
It
shows that
should
they
have,
were desperate.
right, exactly. But there's no reason to be desperate. They had time.
It's embarrassing.
They had so much time, and it was almost like they were like, okay, we have this deal done. We're just gonna wait to beat the Yankees, and then we're gonna ship them off.
Yeah. Or
And
maybe what it was. I don't mean to cut you off, but I am because this just popped in my head. We know we have a landing spot for him. We're gonna wait until all three kids are up, and then we're gonna ship him off.
yeah, it just doesn't make any sense because there's so many more teams that would have liked him. The Mets have one of the worst DH spots in all of the league, and we know they're willing to pay.
Yeah.
They would have been a suiting spot, and it would have hurt me because that would have been prospects gone out of our system.
hmm
But
What got me some good ones.
like, go get
Or
like
would it have?
go go get Griffin Canning, Jeff McNeil, and a prospect, and that's a way better looking trade already.
Yeah, I wonder what is the Mets equivalent of Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and James Tibbs? It's kind of like
Well,
Drew
it's like
Gilbert.
It's like Ryan Stanek, Drew Gilbert, and
And Drew Peterson.
yeah, David Peterson. Yeah,
David Peterson, that's his name. Who's Drew Peterson? Celtics 13th man, tall white guy. David Peterson.
yeah, yep, 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 yep.
Also a tall white guy, but a baseball player.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's not good.
no,
I'm not gonna watch for a little while.
I wouldn't blame you.
I feel I'm gonna boycott for I don't know how long I actually can, probably like a week. I was in the ballpark on Saturday
Right? Yeah, watching
and it
Hunter
was
Dobbins shove, which was
yeah, Hunter
elite.
Dobbins shoved and it was probably I could put on this hand like excitement from times I've gone to Fenway Park.
Yeah,
The Saturday night game was right there.
yeah.
And then the Sunday game was great too. Brian Bayo shoved my
Yep.
guy. Rafi hit a home run, and then that was it. So anyway, that's the Sox talk. I was gonna say some great stuff about them getting back in the mix in the AL East, but it kind of looks like that's not a priority.
Yeah.
But
I
the like,
mean, I don't like. They must have a lot of hope in the big three, as they call it, because like, I mean, we knew Rafi was a toxic player in the
yeah,
clubhouse to some extent. That is not a question at all.
yeah,
But it doesn't like that doesn't have to be like known to the rest of the league, and then you can go out and just get this monster haul for him.
yeah,
So I like you can get big league talent, you can get minor league talent. I don't know. I don't understand. I probably won't understand. Maybe the GM will come out and say why they did what they did and why they went where they went. But as of right now, we have a lot of question marks.
the only thing, and I saw this on Twitter from a credible Red Sox source. I'm able to tell which ones are and which ones aren't, as I'm sure you are too on Twitter. A credible Red Sox source was talking about how the management was opening the possibility for acquiring a different player under long-term team control that was like a big fish, but that
Oh,
kind of just seems like a saving grace thing to say right now. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not expecting any big horizontal move from them. It's just taken right now as a huge step back.
yeah. The problem is there's no big fish to go
Who would it
get.
be?
I mean, Skeens is the only name that's coming in my mind, but he's probably not going to be on the market for another 2 years,
Yeah.
like on the trade market, that being. But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think too highly of it.
I can't imagine you do. I
You
mean,
can't
I wouldn't.
you can't think highly of the New York baseball Mets though.
Except outside of this weekend, which is very fitting because me and my family, we have a running joke that on my father's birthday weekend or on Father's Day weekend, they get swept every year. And it's almost true every single time because they like
Just
to let
always
down
say.
their fans.
Who did they play
But
this weekend?
the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh,
What?
good.
Why did we get swept by them? I don't know. Anyways,
They're a neat
um,
little ball club again.
yeah, they're not bad. They always find a way to figure it out. They
That's
sure do. But yeah, there's a lot to be excited about up there in Queens. Um, Juan Soto's finding his form. That was to be expected.
hmm
He's still getting super unlucky. He's still hitting the ball super hard. Nobody's worried about him at this point, and he's probably going to end up being an all-star too. And quite frankly, he deserves it. Um, at least to be a reserve, of course. Um, Lindor's having a great year. He's got a broken toe, which
Oh,
is the problem,
that's
but like it's a pinky toe. It's play throughable. He'll be fine in 2 months. Um, and then Jeff McNeil is looking like an entirely different player, even than he was before, because he's not this batting champ, give me singles kind of guy. He's hitting bombs. He's got an 840 OPS or something like that.
yeah.
And then Nimmo's finding his stride. And of course, Alonso is playing
Even then,
more than the money than we
great.
gave him. And I was hating on the contract. I was glad we overpaid a little bit, but I thought we could have ticked down the money by $6 or $7 million, and I'm happy we didn't, honestly, because he's playing better than we ever could imagine. So there's a lot to be excited about. The pitching is amazing. Kodai Senga just went down because he has no mobility and can't jump without tearing something.
Did he try and make a play on a ball and get hurt?
Yeah, unfortunately, Pete has the yips from throws within 30 feet, and he got taken off the bag to the right side, threw it to Senga. Senga jumped, caught it, came down, tweaked hamstring.
No.
So
He was
they
really,
he's on like the 30-day IL, 15-day IL, something like that. I don't really know the days, but
he
short
was
term.
really,
It's not 60.
he was really going to get some Cy Young votes.
Yeah.
He still
Yeah.
can if he has a short-term injury that he comes back from. But
Yeah.
the pitching was the biggest thing that we tagged at the beginning of the year that could be a problem,
Yeah.
and it hasn't been, and they're in first place. So they kind of answered our questions with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Pete Alonso contract has turned into a genius move and not the disaster throwing away money that we thought it maybe could have been.
Yeah.
But it seems like, and this kind of happened with Bregman too before he got hurt, that these short-term contracts are really motivating for these players with all the ability in the world to kind of
Right.
prove that they're, even as they get to 31, 32 years old, to prove that they're really worthy of a longer term deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, Pete's been amazing. The pitching, I mean, it's this season has entirely proved that David Stearns is a genius and that
Yeah,
Jeremy Hefner, the pitching coach, is also a genius. And because we're turning Griffin Canning, who looked like a AAA arm last year, into a very feasible backline starter. And David Peterson is pitching with a sub 2.5 ERA right now. And there's all these different pieces that it was like, okay, he's concerning. He's concerning. Why is Kodai Senga the ace? Why are Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas frontline starters now? And all of a sudden it's like genius now. Manaea and Montas are getting shelled in AAA right now, but that's a different topic for a different day. Rehab starts are fine. They're essentially there there's a lot of purpose behind them. But
yeah.
that being
It's kind of
said,
less about the stats.
the pitching is I just can't even believe it because the whole thing that was holding us back from this team was wow, Clay Holmes is the two starter.
It was
He
so hard
hadn't
to
even
believe in.
yeah, and he's been arguably the best pitcher on the team outside of Senga. So I don't know. McGill is showing some signs of fading away, but all right, that's enough ranting on the Mets. I could go on for the rest of our time here, but
So the Mets are on top. The Phillies are not far behind.
no.
The
But that's
Braves,
not terribly surprising.
yeah, and the Braves are tragically bad.
Bad.
They
No,
they started bad and they haven't turned good.
no. They're heating up a little bit right now.
It's better than it was.
Um, I think Acuna is giving them all sorts of life. The problem is the problem stems from just every bat regressing. I've
Hmm.
had multiple conversations with like all my friends who are Braves fans back home, and the consensus is you didn't fill the hole at shortstop, you didn't fill the hole in the backline starter, and you didn't pick up any pieces for the bullpen. And now you're left with a terrible product on the field
Yeah.
because Acuna's missing time, Strider's missing time, and both those guys are coming back from major injuries.
Yeah,
So,
still the hope was that the Braves would at least be horizontal and win 90 games again.
right.
But if we've seen the best of Ozzy Albies and dare I say we've seen the best of Matt Olson and Sean Murphy,
Yep.
um, it's hard to get out of where they are. It's what, like 31 and 39 or 32 and 40. I don't have it up, but it's something like that, I think right now. Much closer to
They're
the
31 and 39.
much closer to the Nationals and Marlins than they are to the Mets and the Phillies.
Yeah. Um, I just the more and more we watch the Braves play, the more and more we start to question Alex Anthopoulos as a GM. And that's the the thing that's the most concerning is why hasn't shortstop, which has been a glaring hole since Dansby Swanson has left, why is that hole not filled?
Mhm.
Why is Nick Allen the everyday shortstop for the
He can pick
Atlanta
it though.
Braves?
He can pick it.
Oh, he sure can play defense. He walks up there with a PVC pipe,
Yeah, he's not
but
an Atlanta Brave shortstop.
yeah. And I mean, there is a little bit of a testament to how these players are playing, and they were playing a little bit above their like baseline average play. Like Austin Riley was playing well above his like typical self the last
He
couple
was a
years.
legit stud though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had proved it for himself.
Yeah. But um yeah, Albies is declining. Matt Olson is declining. Matt Olson's hitting the ball hard though. His expected numbers are pretty good.
He always will.
But I don't know.
How's my guy Profar doing, huh? Oh, he got suspended.
Yeah, he's coming back soon though.
Like right away, he got suspended.
Yeah, 80 game suspension after game two, and they've played 70 games, so
Oh,
he'll
he'll be
be
back.
back in about a month.
He was kind of bound to regress anyway, huh?
Yeah, probably. But yeah,
Matt Olson's doing decent.
yeah. The Braves are just a sign of this is what happens when you get content.
Yeah,
Get content. And, Ozuna hits the ball hard, but that's all he brings. Drake Baldwin's been a stud. He's really
yeah,
fun to
he has
watch.
been good. If you have any bright side for the Braves, it's definitely Drake Baldwin,
hmm And it's
Spencer
the fact that
Schwellenbach.
the question with the Braves is, do you trade away Chris Sale and you get a bunch of prospects?
I suppose if this is not going to be, it depends when you determine that this won't be your year.
The problem is this team isn't winning a World Series. You
Yeah,
have
but
to beat either the Mets or the Dodgers to even get there, and then you got to win the dang thing once you do.
if they go 20 and 10 over the next month, which their roster has the talent to do,
Yeah,
then this is a different ball game. So if the Braves, if they
true.
stay how they are, then I bet you could see Chris Sale at the door. I bet you see Sean Murphy out the door because you have a new full-time starting catcher.
Yeah. The problem is if you go 10 or 20 and 10 over the next month, that puts you just above 500, and they have nothing to give if they're trying to get better.
Yeah. And I guess in the National League, how many spots how many spots are still going to be reachable if you're just above 500 at the deadline? Because the Dodgers and Giants should have them locked up. The Cubs will have one locked up, and the Phillies and the Mets will have two locked up. So then you kind of have one final playoff spot. Would Milwaukee hold it right now, or would San Diego hold it right now?
Let me check. As of right now, well, right now San Diego is the last
San Diego would
team
hold
in.
it. And then even if you're the Braves, you have to jump. I mean, the Cardinals have been fine. They're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they've been
Probably
fine.
not.
Milwaukee's always decent, I guess.
They always linger.
Even when you, even this was the year that we figured they weren't going to linger. They're
Yeah.
maybe not lingering enough to win the division, but they're definitely lingering.
Yeah.
And Arizona has looked, especially since they last played the Braves last week, they've looked really good over the
Yeah.
past 10, 14 days or so.
Yeah. I was at the comeback game. It was nuts.
And then there was the game that this wasn't the comeback game, right? The game that Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte each hit two bombs.
No, that was the game before.
Yeah, all right. Well, if you have those two guys on your team, then
Yeah.
um,
Um, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you have the Padres as the third team in right now, and the team ahead of them is the Giants, who just got a superstar. Sorry.
they know they
Um,
did. I'm happy for them.
And then the Phillies is the other team. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my dog just opened the door.
Oh, smart
Hello.
dog. Yeah, smart dog there.
Oh, all right, and I just shot my water bottle on my computer. There she is. She's leaving. All right, goodbye. Never mind.
Yeah, so
Anyways,
I don't know about the Braves. The Giants have been ultra impressive, and it's out of nowhere, just like it
it
was in
really is.
2021.
I mean, we
Out of
both
nowhere,
had them
really.
just below 500.
Right. Well, we figured we kind of acknowledged that they were a solid team,
Yeah,
and there were four good teams in the NL West, and one or one and a half of them had to end up not playing that well. And it seemed like the Giants were the good pick.
yeah,
And it seems like they're making us look foolish.
sure does. I mean, this team is just winning, and it doesn't feel like they're doing anything crazy.
No, because they're
And
not.
but that's how they did it in 21.
They
That
really
was the
are.
year, right?
Yeah,
That's how they did it in 21. They just didn't hit the ball hard. I mean, they're 24th in team average. They are 23rd in team OPS. Oh, but they're third in team ERA. All right, there it is.
their pitching has been pretty good. Not like across the board super good, but Webb's been super good, and
Yeah,
their bullpen is thick.
their bullpen is unreal. Randy Rodriguez is really fun to watch, and Camilo Doval looks to
Back.
be back to
He's
himself.
back.
And then you got is this Tyler or Trevor? This Tyler Rogers,
Tyler. That's the
um,
lefty, right?
who's yeah, he's Tyler's down here.
Tyler's here.
Like
Yeah, Tyler's here. Taylor's here.
Taylor's here. Yeah, but
And
he's here. He's got the left.
Trevor. So Taylor's here. Tyler's here. And
Yeah,
then Trevor's the
Tyler's here.
starter.
Taylor's here, and then Trevor's like here.
And Ryan Walker's kind of here too. He's pretty good.
Yeah, they're kind of taking the Tigers approach where they have all sorts of different angles and arms that they can kind of just throw at you, and you just kind of got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really really crazy how good their bullpen is. And yeah, I mean, good team, winning games.
I
Robbie Ray has
wonder
a sub 3 ERA. Yeah, good for them, I guess. Now they have Devers.
I wonder what happens in these next 2 months or so if they can. And this is a broken record because in 21 they were like this, and we were like, "Oh, can they keep pace with the Dodgers? Why are they playing so far above their expectations?"
Yeah, and then they did.
Now that they have Devers on their team, the roster looks like it should be expected to play like they
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
And
100%.
With all the Dodgers injuries, it's not going to be that far fetched if we see the Giants keep pace with them,
Yeah.
and
The
they can
question
win
is,
a
will
game like
Devers play
that.
first?
I bet he will, just to laugh in everyone's face. I mean, there's no reason for him not to, right?
I mean, yeah,
His whole
there's
thing
really
was wanting to play the field. He's not going to play third here, but
no,
that
no.
one guy's pretty good. That one guy's pretty good at third.
Yeah, yeah, he might have a platinum glove or something.
Yeah. So the Giants,
I
I'm
think,
impressed.
yeah,
I'm a little bitter with them right now, but I'm more bitter at my own team.
right, yeah. I think one team that is really stunning in every facet of the game is the Rangers because both of us had them at 90 wins, I believe, or right around the cusp.
Had them, if you say you had them at 90, I remember having them higher than you did.
Yeah, I had them, I think around like 88, and I think you had them around like 91.
That sounds right.
And
They're
they can't
trash.
hit, they can't hit, and they pitch the hell out of the ball. And it's like, why are they doing either of those
That's
things?
exactly what we thought was not going to happen.
Right, exactly. We thought they were going to mash, and then they were going to get shelled.
I'm happy for Jacob DeGrom.
Me too.
I think
So
that's
happy.
awesome. I'm happy for Nate Eovaldi.
Yep.
He's
Beast.
great. Yeah. Um, I'm not happy for any of their lineup.
No.
But
You know who
here's
I
the
am
thing.
happy for?
What's
I'm
that?
happy for Patrick Corbin. He is a 3.66 ERA right now.
Yeah. How about you make something of yourself, Patrick?
There you go.
The Rangers,
You-
their whole lineup could be like you could see in an all-star game almost.
Yeah.
Like with Semyon, Seager, Langford, Adolis, even Jock with the way he can swing it as a
Yeah.
DH. If you told me any of those guys would be all-stars at the beginning of the year, I would have given you a thumbs up.
Yep.
I would have said that's not crazy at all.
And
And
there's
they've all
about
gone.
sorry. There's about three other names that like if you told me they made an all-star game at the beginning of the year, I'd be like, that's interesting, but I can see that.
Right, like Jake Berger or Josh Smith.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that they're performing so far below expectations. They're like down in the dumps with the Pirates and the
Yeah.
Rockies and like the really terrible teams. And I don't know who to fault because you can't really fault the roster construction and Chris Young looking at these guys.
Yeah, not at all.
I feel like the fault is on the players themselves.
I mean, it's like the Braves. It's like these guys are all proven. A lot of them are proven, and maybe some of them have played a little bit above their current worth. But
Not even
like,
though.
but like, it's different from the Braves because these guys, like, they went out and got them, and they've added more and more and more, and they've had this group, and they keep putting in pieces, and all of a sudden it just collapses. Like they won a World Series 2 years ago, and with essentially the same group, Adolis, Seager, Semien, list
Very
goes on,
similar.
and all of a sudden that group just can't do it anymore. They're not old for the most part.
They're older, but they're not old.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the fact that Semien and Seager are both older than 30 does not excuse the fact that they're not superstars anymore.
exactly.
Seager, obviously, I think always has a chance to turn in a pretty good offensive season. Simeon's days of being good on offense are behind him, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
But like for a guy like Adolis Garcia, there's no reason that I should be saying that his best offensive days are behind him necessarily, because it seemed like in 2023, all he was doing was heating up to be this monster.
right. Yeah.
It's
He,
not happening.
if I remember right, he's a little bit like older than people think he is. Like he was a late debuting rookie, but
32.
yeah, but still, I mean, 32 should not be a grandpa age by any sense.
No, I don't think so.
Let's see here. What are some other teams that are worth covering? I think the Orioles are worth covering.
Oh yeah, because they've really stunk it up.
I
That
mean,
one,
what happened?
that one makes less sense than Texas.
I think so too. I mean, it makes less and more sense
Yeah,
because we both addressed the fact that the pitching was terrible,
yeah,
but the pitching is way worse than we thought it was going to be.
it's true.
All right. Well, sorry for that interruption.
Anyway, after some technical difficulties, the Orioles are still bad.
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Um,
Ryan O'Hearn's their
all right.
best hitter.
Yeah, I don't. No, Rhino Hunt's really good. I really want the Mets to trade for him, but okay, might not be able to do this. I'm sorry, I'm on Safari. But yeah, Ryan O'Hearn's their best hitter. Gunnar Henderson is doing
Good.
he
He didn't take a step
is doing
forward.
good. No, but honestly, that is probably not what they needed. They needed other guys to do that. And Holiday's taken a step forward, but Adley's gone backwards. Um,
They are going to get
I mean,
something
you
for
can just
Cedric
go down
Mullins.
the list and yeah, they are. Um, hopefully it's not to the Mets. I really don't see much in Cedric personally,
Yeah.
at least
Also,
like
he's a
for
rental.
projectability. Right. Yeah. But we have Tyron Taylor, who is essentially the same player and a better defender.
Yeah.
His production numbers are a little bit lower, but yeah.
Their best
Yeah, but the
pitchers,
Orioles aren't so
Lee,
great.
Gano.
Yeah, which is not anything to get super excited about.
It's disappointing, but you can kind of see it coming. I mean, we didn't really think below 500, of course, but
Yeah.
the round
We
got
both picked
better
them
and
to
they didn't.
regress.
Teams around them got better and they didn't do anything.
Yeah. And we both knew they were going to regress, but we didn't think it was going to be anything like what we've seen.
Yeah, it was
And
it's been they were here and we're here.
right.
Just like
Yeah.
you turn off a light, just 24 to 25. Now they're bad, and they're back where they were. They're
Yeah.
back where they were climbing out of.
Yeah.
I think it
It's
comes from fear
it's
to make the big move because they didn't do it.
yeah. They The problem was it was okay not replacing Corbin Burns, but it was not okay not filling him in his hole at all.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. They got Zach Eflin,
Yep.
and he hasn't been very
And
good.
and, and the approach of, hey, we're not going to sign you because you're a little bit too much money is fine when you get a complete rotation out of that. And they just didn't.
They don't have it. All right,
But
you got
yeah.
2.5 minutes to give me some Tigers pitching chaos and Javier Baez in center field
Okay. Let me cook real quick, or at
because
least try to.
we
Not doing.
deserved they deserve for us to at least talk about them because they have the best record and
Yeah.
nobody won.
Um,
But everyone's hitting
so
and they're
I'll give
pitching.
you this chaos.
Yeah,
Tarek Skubal has 111 strikeouts and 9 walks.
he has 9 walks.
Nine.
That's
That is
ridiculous.
nuts. That
That
is
is.
ridiculous on every front.
Mhm.
1.99 ERA. Flaherty's good, 4 ERA. Casey Mize, 2.95 ERA. That's awesome to see. Jackson Jobe just went down. That's not awesome to see, but good for him. And then multiple, I talked about earlier, they have the relievers from all sorts of angles and all sorts of arm slots. And now you're looking at guys uh like Tommy Canley with a 1.55 ERA by just throwing changeups.
It makes no
So
sense.
yeah, it really doesn't. It really
Makes no
like
sense.
I know the pitch is obviously good, but
Yeah,
good Lord.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, good for the Tigers, kind of good for Javier Baez. It's getting worse, but still good.
You know who I'm really happy for is Spencer Torkelson
Yeah,
because
100%.
he's having a look at me, I'm still kicking type year.
Yeah.
And if
16 bombs.
if these guys are going to be these guys, and Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson are going to anchor it, just like we all thought that they could,
Yeah.
then they're starting to build something that they haven't had in a long time, and they're playing better
Yeah.
baseball than anyone else right now.
Yep, that's for dang sure.
Hmm.
And yeah, everybody looks good on every front. And I mean, even Colt Keith is starting to pick it up. Dylan Dingler looks like a solid player, and everybody's just stepped their game up.
You know,
So good for the Tigers. Good for
hasn't
them.
been some big thing or some huge increase by some player. It's been little increases by almost everybody.
Yeah.
Real
Yep.
team first baseball.
Yeah. It's been pretty cool to watch. Pretty fun.
All right, we got to wrap. I got to wrap this up here before they kick me off.
Yeah. All
That'll do
right.
it for the first Zoom installment of the Fallbar Baseball Show.
Yes, will not be the last, hopefully.
I hope not. If it works, then it won't be. We will see you next time.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.